Hey everyone, I'm Lori Ricciardoni and this is my test kitchen. Welcome. It's autumn officially. It's arrived. This is my favorite time of the year. The harvest at the market is just abundant and all the ingredients are just starting to change a little bit. So it's a really fun time for me. And which leads me into kind of our recipe today. It's time for some warmer, cozier food like soups. So today we're going to make saffron vegetable soup with a basil pesto with a little tomato paste in it, which is really delicious. Saffron takes the soup to another level. You're going to really enjoy this one, I think. I make this soup over and over again. So I will go over all the ingredients with you and the measurements, and then I will show you how to make it. Let's get started. I recommend doing your prep and chopping beforehand. It really makes it so much easier when you're assembling a recipe, particularly if you haven't made it before. And you can do some of the chopping and prep in the morning or even the day before. So you have all your ingredients laid out before you and you don't have to think about it. You know that everything is there. So it's just a good idea to do that. Little tip. All right, we have some beautiful squash. We have onions, garlic, green beans, carrots, saffron, some lemons, I think I said our leeks, some black pepper, I think I said lemons already, olive oil, Parmesan Reggiano, tomato paste. We have some homemade vegetable stock, preferably vegetable stock. Homemade stock is always better, but don't not make the soup if you don't have homemade stock. You could always get an organic brand and use that. And let's not forget the basil. We need the basil for the pesto. And those are our ingredients. And now we will start to put it together. I'm using a Dutch oven. You could use a soup pot. I use my Dutch oven for a lot of different things. It's my workhorse in the kitchen. We'll put a little bit of olive oil. Make sure the pot is hot already. You don't want to put your oil into a cold pot. Then we're going to put our leeks and onions in. We're going to cook those for a few minutes. We want to get them just slightly golden brown. It just melts them down a little bit and it really brings the sweetness out of the onions. So I recommend doing that. Once you have that done, you're going to put your carrots, and I'm putting some parsnips. I didn't say parsnips in the ingredients. I actually just threw some in. You really could use whatever vegetable you like. They take a little bit longer to cook, so we put those in first. We cook those for maybe 5 minutes, and then we're going to put our stock and saffron in. So pour your stock, your saffron, mix that up, let that come to a boil, actually. Bring it to a boil, and then let it simmer for about 10-15 minutes. You'll kind of know when that point is ready. Just taste your vegetable, see if it still has a little crunch to it. You don't want to overcook the vegetables. It's really important. Then, after the 15 minutes, you will put your string beans in and your squash. That takes a little less time to cook. Maybe cook it for another 10 minutes. Again, taste it. You could taste it for seasoning at this point. You don't want to add too much salt because we are adding the pesto, which has the Parmigiano in it, and that is a little bit salty. So taste it as you go along, really important. Then you're going to simmer that again for another 10 minutes and turn off the heat. Let it sit for a moment. Then we're going to put half of our pesto in that I'll show you how to make and mix that up and let that sit for about 10 minutes and then give it a taste. see if it's ready, or if you want to add a little bit more salt, a little bit more pepper. At the end, I like adding my lemon, my acidity to the soup. You could even do it when you're plating it, but I like to just put it in at the end, not really cook the lemon. And just squeeze your lemon. You can do a little bit at a time. I would start with a half of a lemon. I typically use at least 1 lemon for a big pot of soup. The rest of the pesto is going to go in the soup at the end. You can do it when you're plating. Just put a little dollop on top in each bowl. And the pesto is really simple. Food processor, blender, you add our basil, our Parmesan Reggiano, the olive oil, the tomato paste. That's really it. You don't need to put any salt in there. And just pulse that a few times. It could be a little choppy, it could have a little texture to it. Really simple, that's it. You can make that a little bit of head as well. And then just put it in a bowl, set it aside until you're ready to plate your dish. And voila, that's really it. You can maybe grate some extra Parmesan Reggiano on top if you want a little bit extra. I always like a little bit extra. And I might even just squeeze a tiny little bit more of lemon. And you have a beautiful savory soup. Put some crusty bread in there. My fennel bread, my gluten-free, grain-free bread, which is on my website, is a beautiful bread to pair with the soup. You can make a little chive butter if you want. You could toast it, make croutons. There's just so many ways to do it. So I hope you enjoy it. And that's it for the recipe today. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you will give this recipe a try. I think you'll really enjoy this one. Great way to start off the autumn season with a nice savory soup. And please visit our website for other recipes. This full recipe will be on my website, lauriericcardoni.com. If you like what you've seen today, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And remember to click the little bell icon, because that will tell you, it'll give you a notice when we have a new upload, so you can do that as well. Visit us on Instagram. I have some recipes that I post on a regular basis that are just seasonal and beautiful, all gluten-free, grain-free, a lot are vegan, paleo, just so many different possibilities, whatever your lifestyle is. They're all healthy, they're all seasonal. That's my philosophy, is to always cook with the seasons, to cook with love, and have fun in the kitchen. And that's really kind of, I think, my things that you need to do to have a good recipe.